Hey guys, I'm here today in this beautiful outdoor pool in Bali with world champion swimmer Kira Toussaint, who is a world-class freestyler and backstroker, and today she's going to give me a few tips to try and make me a less bad backstroker.
Well, we'll see how that's going to work out. I watched Sunny's backstroke, and the first thing we're gonna work on is the head position. So we're gonna swim. You have fins on, so that's good. So, and you're gonna focus on keeping like a ball the size of a lacrosse ball, and you're gonna tuck your chin in a way that you can hold the imaginary ball, and that way you're gonna keep your head as still as possible.
All right.
First exercise. Let's try it. The next thing would be, okay, so your head is in a good position when you do this. The next thing would be like you're swimming backstroke and your ribs are all the way out, which makes your arch your lower back. Try to swim with your ribs are pulled in. So when you tilt your pelvis and you like shorten your abs, then your ribs stay nice and in. And I think that is already going to make a big difference for you.
So head and okay.
How did that feel?
I felt like I couldn't control my head anymore, but I felt much better with my...
So, you enter, and then you did it well, and then right here, your rib popped out, and then you entered. So maybe it's also for you a mobility
that's
issue.
really bad,
But your head was a little bit more forward this time. But, you know, it's the first time we're doing this. Your head was really good the first time you did it. The second time, I think it was what you said. It was a bit harder for you. So now, still gonna focus on the head and keeping your ribs in. And now the last thing we're gonna focus on is the way you enter your hands.
Okay.
When I was younger, I always learned to enter with this little, with your this little knuckle here.
The bone here.
But recently, I learned in the last 2 years, I learned to enter with like this. Yeah, the top of the fingers.
Okay.
And that way, if you enter, you can go, when you get deep, you can go straight into your pool.
Okay. You show me. You show me. Let me see. Although my hips are really unstable. Like my backswing is way worse than my freestyle, but I have these issues on my freestyle as well. Like
so, actually the first tip I should have given you was when you enter your arm crosses, like if there is this midline of your body, like by your nose, your arm should never cross the midline. So you enter your hands straight above your shoulder instead of crossing. Yes. Yeah, that's an issue because I saw you.
And then that's pulling my hips out.
Because when you enter here, you push to the side, and then your hips go the other way. Yeah.
I hope you're following along all right so far, but we've just gone back to tip 0, which is to not cross your center line. And for everyone out there watching this, when you swim backstroke or freestyle for that matter, the center line is sacred. That stops my hips swinging out, which is clearly something that's happening. Then that would bring us to tip 1, which would have been keeping that imaginary lacrosse ball under the chin. Tip 3 would be bracing the core, and that's another thing that's crucial for any stroker swimming, to keep that core engaged, and it's something that Kira instantly picked up on my swimming, but it's something I struggle on all the strokes. And then the more complex tip 4 for maybe them better backstrokers out there was that interesting hand entry into that deeper catch. So I'm now going to try and go back to basics and just enter my arms not over the center line and see how that goes. One thing I want to bring up quickly is that I remember when I watched you set the world record, which is still the European record in the 50 backstroke, short course meters, and you've done this crazy thing on the breakout. You kind of kick a little bit more on your side, and then you break out with an arm over the top, right? What's going on there? Why do you do that?
So I actually learned that when I swam at the University of Tennessee.
Yep.
And we always call it the top arm breakout or the Tennessee breakout. And the theory behind it is that when you are kicking on your stomach or on your back, and you have a body of water, there is less water above you than below you because there is air above you.
Yep.
Whereas if you kick on your sides, there is as much water in front of you as behind you. So you can have as much pressure, like the pressure that your feet or your legs can put on the water, can be the same forward and backwards. So in theory, that's why it's faster to kick on your sides to kicking on your back or on your stomach.
Yep.
But then when you are kicking on your side, you need to find a way to have a smooth transition into swimming. So that's where the top arm breakout comes in. And you're basically like kicking on your side, and in your last, well, I cannot stand here.
No,
so you're kicking on your side, and in your last kick, your arm swings while you catch this. Your arm swings. So it's like, it's not a pull, and you swing it, but you don't go all the way to your hip. You just swing it, and then
into your
keep your ribs in and everything.
Okay.
So it's and that's the top arm breakout.
If I'm kicking on this side, so I'm facing you as I'm kicking.
Which arm?
This arm.
Yeah. You have to be more on your side.
So now I've had my lesson from Kira. I'm going to race Kira. Push 25 backstroke.
He's scared. He just told me he was very scared.
Every year I try and get a PB, and 3 years ago I tried to get 100 backstroke PB. It was 103. Oh, I didn't get it.
Oh, long course?
Short course.
I
was out sub 30, then I just. It's bad.
Those legs, man, those legs. Well,
I can't even describe my legs. It was not, they didn't exist for like a day after.
Well, best of luck here. We're doing
25 backstroke. I'm going all in. I'm going all in here.
Me too. When you race, you don't have to think anymore.
Well, thank you, Kira, for these tips. I must say, every single one of them things, when I put them in isolation, I could feel it make an obvious impact. I mean, even the first one that you told me with the lacrosse ball, it felt for the first time I was swimming with a still head. I did feel a little overwhelmed when I started adding the things, and I know you said off camera, you said, Also, the other thing is don't do a million things at once. So would you probably say when you're making changes of your stroke, take one at a time?
Yes, for sure. I would always start with the basics. So like keeping your head still is, I think in backstroke, one of the most important things. And always when I work on technique, I try to focus on one, maximum two things at the same time, because otherwise, what you say, you just get overwhelmed. But you know, when you only have one moment, and like we have today, I needed to give you some tips so you can start working on them. But I definitely get started with the head, then work on the ribs.
Yep.
And then always also don't cross over. That's the, I think, tip 0.
Yep.
So yeah, that was fun to do. Thank you
very much, Kira. I must say, like them 3 tips, I see a lot of people struggle with them things. So if you are watching this video, you want to get better at backstroke, definitely bring consciousness to them things next time you train, bring awareness. Thanks, Kira, for making this video. Kira is awesome, and like and subscribe.
Thank you.